Good morning, AM Brainstormers. Today we are here in Beijing, China, with artists Chen Qi and Zhejian Chen. Chen Qi is a multimedia artist, animator, and arts writer based in Beijing. His work, which includes painting, photography, video, and interactive performance pieces, interrogates a limited physical reality in environments he sees beyond human control through the use of humor, quirkiness, self-deprecation, and metaphor. He received an MA from East China Normal University in 2012, and his recent work has been exhibited in a number of group shows in China, Russia, and Finland. Projects have included a multimedia installation in Bactagon's curated experience Perceptions of Home this past spring, and the group show Uneasy Trip in Asia at Beijing Star Gallery, which represents his work. Zhejian Chen is an American-born, Beijing-based artist and the art and design content director at Zhihua. She obtained BFAs in illustration in film, animation, and video from the Rhode Island School of Design in 2010, and an MFA in production design from the Beijing Film Academy in 2014. Her work has been featured in international publications such as Vice, The Lifted Brow, and Bitch magazine, as well as numerous anthologies, including Kuss, Thickness, and Happiness. She also recently published a bilingual graphic novella entitled Keep Fresh with Retrofit Comics and Big Planet Comics. Her illustrative work has been exhibited in group shows in New York and San Francisco. Not one to shy away from big projects, she is considering writing and illustrating a longer comic piece drawing inspiration from motifs and iconography from the Lord of the Rings trilogy. In conversation today, the two artists discuss their formal and informal interactions with the arts before art school, motivations for some of their most recent work, and sources for creative inspiration. Bactagon would like to give special thanks to Opera Bambana for their freshly baked pastries, and The Other Place for their beautiful courtyard space. My first question to you guys, and whoever wants to take it first, is what was your arts schooling experience before you actually decided to go to art school?
I took private lessons with various tutors. I did some after school programs when I was in middle school, and then I did the RISD summer camps. But I did architecture.
Architecture. Did anyone bring you into architecture? Was that?
My parents wanted me to do architecture because they thought I was like the only valid form of art. So I did that, but I did terribly.
How so? Elaborate what terrible means to you.
I don't think my brain thinks that way. I don't think in like such an abstract, spatial way. I don't think I would be able to make buildings.
What about you, Chanchi?
I didn't have a formal art education. I studied at a normal university. Normal means for teacher. I majored in contemporary art study. So I think the only thing I got from my tutor is that he told me that you will become an artist.
Your tutor at university?
Yeah, he told me that at the first year, and then I disappeared at the second year.
Wait. Sorry, you disappeared?
Yeah, I disappeared at the second year. Because the first year they ranked me, when counting backward, on the third one, on the skill level, art skill level, or things like that.
Right.
So I'm like disappearing for 2 years, and then I come back and write my essay in 3 days.
In 3 days? And that was university?
Yeah. The universities even suckers.
Okay. What do you mean by disappeared? How did that happen, and what inspired that?
No, it's the student and teachers think I'm disappearing. So
But you didn't really disappear?
Yeah, I'm still around. I do other job.
So you're kind of also expert at hiding and secret activities and
secret learning stuff.
Yeah.
And become better when I come back.
Something I would really like to know is, when you were young, did you have some kind of first inclination that you would be interested in the arts someday? Did you get any feeling, maybe it wasn't actually in school, but in some informal way? that you might want to work with art someday?
Not really. I think it's on the disappearing too. It's on those 2 years I figured out that maybe I want to be an artist. I don't even know what an artist means before that. But I like draw, I like painting, I like making small stuff, but that's how my interest goes. But I don't know how to like survive as an artist or be in the art circle. Before that, that means nothing. After those 2 years, I figured out that I want to be an artist. When I was a child, I have no idea. I just want to be a scientist. Yeah, I like every Chinese sport. We play tank, we play dinosaurs, we play math, and we want to become a scientist.
What percentage of young Chinese children do you think have any idea of wanting to become an artist someday?
I think 0%. They don't understand. They just like to doodle around. Those kids draw UFO, kid fighting their brain, kid transport themselves to other universe. That's what kids do.
Yeah, children doodling.
Yeah.
What did you doodle when you were young? Did you have special iconography from your pictures? You know, like UFOs.
I did a lot of cats. I drew myself a lot.
Yourself, like your idea of you, or like your memory of you looking into mirrors, or
Yeah,
how?
I think I did that and like myself in various Disney characters that I would see, like animations that I would watch. Mowgli, especially from the Jungle Book. I think mostly because I really liked animals. I wanted to be a doctor, like all the other Chinese kids who didn't want to be scientists.
Do you think there was some influence on that parentally?
It was like a toy kit that I got. Maybe it wasn't even mine. It might have been like my friend's. It was like a doctor bag. And I was like obsessed with it.
Your little stethoscope,
Yeah, but I never
thermometer.
like cut open.
You like the first aid kit?
Yeah, I really liked
You
being
think that's like
neat
Hello
and, like
Kitty?
my tools and stuff. Yeah.
And what about you? Self-portraits or other things?
Yeah, I like machines when I was a kid. I grew up in a factory.
Really?
Yeah, in a weaponized factory. Because in old days, Chinese factories, when it's make weapon, they don't have a formal name. They just have a number. Those factories has kindergarten, has elementary school, has all sorts of entertainment, has cinema. So it's huge yard. I grew up in one of those factories. Watch my mom making machines. Yeah, steal her paper, and draw on the back.
Like paper from the factory?
Yeah, the paper.
Like for designing?
Yeah, the machine map.
So like graph paper for making these machines?
Yeah, but the back is white. I stole those things.
I can see some of that language in your work in terms of your mechanized abstract expressionist paintings.
That's my illustration book. That's my comic novel.
Do you feel a direct influence from your childhood into that work?
Not directly, gradually. Gradually.
Okay, so should we introduce your work? I think it's probably a good time before we speak more. Chen, maybe?
I have a photo album called Night in Shanghai. So I take lots of random photos in Shanghai at night. This is about the mice has a long tail.
The mouse with the long tail.
Yeah,
And not the snake about to eat the mouse?
yeah. And the snake is wondering which one is longer. This is a acrylic cake. It's all made of acrylic. I painted layer by layer, so it's basically a acrylic painting without canvas.
How large is this?
2 pounds.
2 pounds of acrylic paint. Okay.
It's a small solo project in Shanghai. Snow White.
This is one of your videos.
Yeah, one of the Snow White videos. It's a game I made shooting Snow White in a maze. I play the game 30 times. I video record the screen 30 times. I layer the 30 video together, become a hazed Snow White shooting genre. You don't know what you are shooting and you don't know where you are going.
You shoot and you die.
You shoot, you don't die, but Snow
In a
White
haze.
always die. It's like
That's the running theme. Snow White always dies.
Yeah, it's like you are the god, and you create people in the maze, and wherever they are going, wherever they are choosing, they are doomed by your manipulation. It's kind of a Snow White in the mirror on the wall. It's kind of a video installation. So these are like Chinese painting, all painted by tradition. In the middle is a hey, like a god. This is Jupiter having his period.
Forgive me.
Jupiter have his period on the ground, and he have it on and on, so the ground grow red flower.
He has it again and again and
Yeah,
again. Okay.
and these are person, they circle all the happy person in the world. The happy person splitting on them. And
the happy people are in the circle?
Yeah, the happy people is made of water-soluble ink. The person is oil-soluble. So in the end, 10 years away, the people in the middle will disappear.
Amazing, they're already starting to, right?
Snow White. The dwarfs steal the magic mirror and mount it on their living room so they can see the mirror as a kind of vision. They always have one channel, the beauty channel. You can watch at night.
Just one channel.
Yeah, just one channel. The most beautiful girl in the world. The channel is called.
And is she always sleeping, or
Yeah,
is Snow White doing things too?
Yeah, they're doing things. It's like a probe to other people's private life. It's a secret only for bear. But when the Snow White become adult, she has no secret for the dwarf anymore. She only tells story to the manhood, the more manlyhood, like bear, standing on a mushroom.
So the dwarfs get the story before, but later as she grows up, she tells.
Yeah, she tells
this
other
special
stories, adult stories, not for the dwarfs.
Not for Disney viewers.
Only for bear. This is a haha pond. There are tiny frog and toads in the pond, and they all worship the haha.
This is another drawing with God. Can you describe to me the reason behind haha, or the language to express the God?
H is the God, I think. H means high. High means everything.
The whole world.
Yeah,
As like
we won't get high.
literally high.
Yeah, we have the experience of high, have the expectation of high, and have high later. We'll have high eventually.
Are we talking emotional high, or chemical high, or everything?
Yeah, probably it's Hey Hey is kind of same. The wave worship the Hey Hey. This is a creature grow in the paper. So the creature's blood is the paper. This is the only illustration I did. And the formal illustration. I do for a magazine, and they are a children magazine. They ask me to deliver a cover and paint this, and they reject it.
And they chose someone else afterward, or what?
They show around and they reject it. I didn't even tell them the story.
What did they ask you to draw them? Something
They asked me
specific?
to draw a mountain, singing bird, happy sound. Yeah, I'm drawing a mountain, singing bird, and they sing a happy song.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that thing like, when you finish, we will eat you. If you don't finish, we won't eat you. The snail is like playing the instrument mounted on the back. Snail singing is like, if I don't stop, they won't eat me.
So after that, no more
Yeah,
illustration commissions.
No more job. I'm done. This oil painting. Some are human size. But I use different styles to try different people. This is the moon goddess, and her moon is her puberty hair. This is the coffin material. They are measuring the size.
Is that the real Snow White, or is that a model of Snow White before she dies?
The real Snow White.
Yeah.
Was
Like, has she died already,
Yeah,
or is she just a model?
She already dead. Snow White always be dead.
Okay, in your stuff, yeah. Yeah.
These are two fires. They are in love and they walk towards each other, but there was a cake in the middle, so they cut the cake by accident. The fire is watercolor, the cake is acrylic, so it's kind of a metaphor. This is a mermaid story. The boat is the prince, and the boat tell them, all the mermaid in the sea, whoever climb up first, I will marry her. You can see the Snow White in the left, on the left. She has a body armor made of dwarf, but her body armor, there was one dwarf that she don't need, so the witch takes the dwarf away, the seventh dwarf away. And the witch feed the dwarf so well that the dwarf become a giant, and he come back.
Why was he chosen to be the dwarf left behind?
No,
Any reason?
the seventh dwarf doesn't have a place to hold on the Snow White body. The Snow White body is already pretty armor.
Okay.
Yeah, this is architecture, green architecture, but in a grey landscape. So we all want to build green architecture. This is a green architecture.
Literally, yeah.
Snow White goes in the river. The dwarf have green hats.
What about the dark spot above Snow White's head?
Yeah, you can always go to the dark spot to see what's in it. It's all made of traditional Chinese mineral pigment and ink. This is a dinosaur with his defensive drawing. I have no idea. Defensive drawing.
Defensive drawing.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have no idea what people buy those. I can't imagine.
You're saying this is like a real children's toy now?
Yeah, I never seen people will buy this. These are the Batman. They're landing on their Batcraft, but landing on it too hard, the aircraft explodes.
He's so powerful he doesn't need his bad aircraft, probably.
I want to put giraffe on the moon, so I imagine a suit. So when we go to the moon, we can have giraffe looking upon us. We always want some creature to looking upon us, like there always a German looking upon us. In Wang Jing. This is a wind goddess, and she has her puberty hair and the hair under her arm socket.
Her arm hair is allowing her to fly.
No, the wind like facing her, so the hair.
Okay. So she's more like a sailboat.
Yeah. This is a monster crab I pick up in my pool pond. Yeah, I do those things at night.
You dig up monster crabs in
My school.
Okay. How old were you when this happened?
24, I think. I burned ganda in my balcony, no ganda, and I paint wall painting for children. I like the little trunks. The children won't know.
Yeah. I think I've seen this, yeah.
And the monkey nipple. The children think it's normal to have nipples. We are perverted to think we don't need nipples.
This is Death is White.
So each time the game loading time is different due to mysterious reasons. First blood is the Dota world, when you kill the first hero. It's another Snow White game, and his weapon is her heart.
He's fighting against the snow.
Yeah, she's fighting the snow.
But is it a game or is it a video of the game?
It's the video of the game. I'm playing the game. Only I can play.
Well, the game exists.
Yeah, the game exists. So only I know how the button. I didn't build those things. This girl doesn't have body limits. Yeah, so she can dance whatever she wants to dance without dying, like without fracture.
Oh, wonderful. Seijia, what do you think?
And I started doing like big oil paintings for a while, and I realized that I didn't really like doing them, so I did comic. So it's Little Red Riding Hood and the big bad wolf in the woods, and she teaches him how to put on a condom. And then this is Paul Bunyan and his ox, and they have sex. Paul Bunyan dies. You're not supposed to have sex with animals. And then I started doing screen printing, and I really liked it, so I started coloring all of my work in that way. This one is about a bee impregnating a peach flower with pineapple seeds, so yeah, like a pineapple peach hybrid. And this is a comic about two pearl divers getting it on.
From the pearl divers to the pearls.
From the pearl divers to the pearls to the clams. This is a comic about a cannibal who's trying to become vegan, but he ends up eating his lover. This one is part of an anthology that I put together when I lived in New York. It's called Dimensions. It has about 16 people's work in it, and this is my piece in it. It's about this guy exploring some caves and finding an entire outfit ready for him. This is a comic that I did for Vice based on a real life story. I got arrested for drunk driving in America.
And what is happening in that?
This is like
To get
two
arrested in
drunk
space.
girls driving and getting arrested by the Space Highway Patrol. And then she tries to play it off cool, but ends up throwing up and going to jail. This comic is about a convention of dagger throwers. This is the dagger throwing competition. And then the after party where everybody is talking trash about everyone else. And someone gets killed mysteriously by being stabbed in the back. And I did some, these are like for anthologies. This one is about a weird cult. And this girl is trying to seek revenge on the people who buried her. So she's like running through courts, gathering weapons and stuff, and killing the main guy.
The castle is like European, the Chinese castle, the European castle. Is there any metaphor?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
And then I really like doing that like sort of layout map thing. So I did a whole panorama piece that like folds out. It's like one piece of paper folded in half, and then there's a center piece in the middle where someone gets smacked, like they get violently killed.
And emotionally,
Yeah.
it's always
This one
emotional.
is about like poem that someone else wrote to their lover, telling them where they want to have sex with them, like all over the place, and then they actually wanted to kill them. This is pretty self-explanatory. Wu Song is
The Chinese freak?
Yeah, he's a freak. He's an alcoholic, kills animals.
With bare hand, blunt force.
Yeah.
But you paint the tiger like a cat. You like a cat.
Yeah.
Cat since childhood.
So
right?
Yeah, I try to do it kind of like those stone lions, where they're like really fat, they look more like dogs, and cute.
Kind of half dog, half dragon.
This is like from a really
Folktale,
Yeah.
folklore.
Chinese
Yeah.
But like ancient folklore.
No, not quite ancient. You
But
have-
he's known as like a crazy character.
Yeah, crazy character. Kill.
He kills his wife and his wife's lover too. He
Yeah.
cuts off their heads.
Is there justice against him in the end?
He's
Paid
like a
back?
hero.
But his eyes looks like pure.
Puree.
And the cat is not necessarily suffering from the eyes.
Anyway, I liked painting this like exploding blood thing, so I painted a lot of that.
Do you remember your first experience with that kind of painting and what prompted that?
It was for this
That
piece.
kind
It
of
was like
language?
throwing the ink around more freely.
Right.
I started off with painting hearts
And
then
jewels and
changed
stuff?
it. And so yeah, so it turned into blood. I guess I got lazy. Anyway, everyone gets punched or smashed or this is a t-shirt design that I did for a Spanish company. The theme was like birth, so I did this box head being infected by those zombie fungus that causes you to like go crazy, and you find a place that's best for the fungus to spore, and it explodes out of your head. It happens to bugs a lot. So
So this
it's
is
like
like
this birthing, it's supposed to be a jaguar, but I guess you can say it was like a cat.
fungal jaguar
Yeah.
spore.
Yeah, and
Sprite.
also for Mayans, jaguars like symbolize rebirth. I did research, I can't remember. This is a big screen print piece that I did for a gallery in Virginia. It's called Betrayal in Moab. The show's theme was monstrous, so I wanted to portray being stabbed to death in the desert.
Is she being backstabbed or just stabbed?
Stabbed in the stomach, it seems like. And I started to do these actions in slow motion. So it's like turning, falling. This is a piece that I did for a Chinese magazine called For Him magazine. They commissioned me to do this piece because their comic artist for the comic column was writing too many words in their comics. So they were like, do less words. So I put 6 words in this comic, and then they told me that it was not enough words. Yeah, so they didn't use it.
But they gave you free form outside of 6 words, no other parameters.
Yeah, I mean they didn't use it, so they didn't like pay me. This one is about cowboys fighting over pants. These are gangsters who are backstabbing each other, or I guess neck stabbing. This is a piece about Beijing after school events, eating chuar, drinking soda. This one is about dipping. This one is for Vice China. This is rugby players hugging.
Not tackling.
No, hugging. This is a portrait of my dog, Winston. It looks like this.
Yes, I shade.
Yeah?
You did that?
Yeah. This is a comic that I did for an Australian magazine called The Lifted Brow. The theme was sex, but I didn't want to do anything about sex, so I did like a neighborly miscommunication. The guy on the left thinks that his neighbors are having sex but they're just exercising. And this is based on an actual note that I got from my neighbor.
Lower your decibel level after 2200. And the result of this, if you don't mind sharing?
We didn't know who put the note on. Yeah.
Did you follow the directions of the note or just
I really
keep
wanted
to
to know
things as usual?
who it was, so we try to be as loud as possible.
The moral philosophy behind this, behind the note itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, the instructional nature of the note.
These are like two frame comics that are like more autobiographical. It's just like stupid, but I like them. This is about me and my girlfriend doing lesbian poetry. This is the newest piece that I did maybe like 2 weeks ago for Art Bazaar. They wanted me to do something that's like the aftermath of a party. So I did like a girl waking up to find gum stuck to her shoes and knocking over a bottle of liquid gold. And that's it.
Having seen all of this, does the audience have some question for either of the artists? Have you ever wanted to collaborate, or have you collaborated with anybody?
I've done it. I have some projects that I'm not allowed to show yet because haven't been released. Like I did an app where I collaborated with an animator and it was fun. And I did another ad. I designed some characters and they got 3D printed and made into a stop motion animation. It's also fun, so I would do it again.
Chun-Chi?
Yeah, I want to, but I didn't collaborate with people yet because all the animation I did myself, including the sound, voice actor. Yeah, even the girl, I use my voice. I do everything myself.
But then in terms of, I think they're pretty different, but also because this one is more illustration and yours is more, I think, in the realm of like fine art.
Yeah,
As a
okay.
finality. No, it's not that it's artsy, it's that the finality is just like to show it and display it. There's a really broad scope of medium and strategies. They're pretty much all visual and graphic somehow. Is there something that you're looking for that may connect the works together, or some of them are just like a very normal like exploration of a material or something like that?
You mean connecting all my
Apart from the sense of,
practice?
apart from the humor, because I see that there's a lot of humor.
Yeah,
but
the humor totally runs through.
Is there like a topic?
Yeah, the
Snow White related topic or something?
Yeah, I think all my work I create a parallel universe and I follow the rules of the parallel universe. All my work I think was done on this principle. I mean drawings, I make small element first. That element was derivative from the real machines, and then I reposition the element and multiply it and become abstract painting. So the painting belongs to the parallel world made of machines. So and my animation is a parallel world made of cartoon characters, but they follow their own quirky rules. But the rules always reference to our real world.
But this parallel universe is accessible only by you, and
Yeah,
it's unlimited.
No, I think it's accessible by everyone. Everyone has their own parallel world. We all time traveler in our mind. Like we think about yesterday, we think about when we were a child. Every day, I think we are actually doing the time traveling. You know, we are. Everyone is a time traveler. We do it in real in our brain. So we are all like multi-universe beings.
Is there a reference to a history of like a critical position towards art here
Here?
in China? Yeah, because I also see that there's a particular like use of what you make emphasis, like this ink with pigment like a mineral-based pigment.
Yeah, it's traditional Chinese painting.
But does it
But
have a purpose? Does it have a purpose?
Yeah,
that
it's
you
a
choose
purpose.
that?
I use those materials to make traditional Chinese painting.
But it's not really traditional Chinese painting.
I don't know. Do you think?
What is traditional about it beyond the pigmentation and the use of materials? Maybe the ideas. I mean, the ideas being somewhat universal to people exploring mythology, our relationship to power, and so forth. But you have a very idiosyncratic view of those things.
Is it mocking it, or is more like following it, or is playing with the rules or trying to break them, knowing you more than the drawings? Because the things if we meet you first, you know there's some sort of a perversity behind everything that's happening. Do you have a particular position, or is just you're seeing where this takes to the spectator or something like that you were?
Yeah, I'm more like a spectator. Yeah, I wait people react and then I give them a word. My explanation is different. Like the photos I take, sometimes I will say I take it. Sometimes I will say I draw it. Sometimes I will say I steal it. But I made it due to the atmosphere. I think everyone deserves their own aspect.
And in your case, when you were at the beginning, you were painting oil paintings. Were they meant to have the same sort of narrative? Were they meant for the same type of audience as the comic strip? Because in the comic strip usually they sort of first is a mass role most of the time. You work with buys and stuff like that, which is accessed by a lot of people. While usually a painting or something like that is more like a personal sort of relationship when you put it in a gallery, and then it doesn't get spread as much neither. This sort of medium. Of course, it takes so much more work to do, so you wouldn't have as many to have a narrative, I guess. So if it was meant to be more like art at some point and became more illustration in the other, or are you interested in the narrative itself?
I think they all have narratives. All of my work has a narrative. It's not. I never really thought about what it's for unless I get the rules. But for the paintings, it was I just like painting portraits, and then I like making up stories behind them. And as long as the stories and the worlds make sense, I was happy with that.
I really like your oil painting. Why you stop?
I went to Italy, and then I saw all the good ones.
Good ones.
And then I cried, and then I stopped.
Oh no! So many artists stopped before their time going to Italy. Have you thought of taking that back at some point?
Yeah, I've been doing some paintings recently, but I really I don't know. I've been trying to do acrylics more, just because oils are so
So
messy.
Temperamental, yeah.
Yeah,
It's not instantly gratifying.
everyone like acrylic now. The acrylic paint will rise.
Yeah.
The price will rise.
Yeah, the price is rising already. And for you, the most important thing would be the narrative in that case. But it has also to do with the graphic, because you still recurring to, for example, this
Right.
comic. So is the narrative plus the imagery that goes with it, or the aesthetic of that type of narrative that attracts you to the work?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
That it is because if it's a storytelling, it could have been text or something like that. But there's something very particular about the aesthetic that you use that is very consistent. Is that what attracts you? The way of doing the narrative to that aesthetic particularly?
It has a lot to do with the fact that I'm really dyslexic, and I don't like to read, so I only think in mostly images. It's not really words. I'll draw it, and then I'll make up the story halfway through, so it's sort of going at the same time.
Do you have a favorite image of either a punch or a backstab of all the violent imagery?
I don't know.
The liquid splashing always appear.
I think as long as I like the ones where I get to do a lot of it. I like to see a lot of black, just solid blacks, blocking the drawings a lot of the times.
It becomes almost like an expressive element.
Yeah, it
to your work.
works when it works as more of a compositional element than just the narrative blood splash.
And both of you have some of that in your pieces, either fluids or growths. I think of the goddess pieces for you.
Oh yeah, goddess piece.
I still don't understand the hey, what is it?
Hey hey.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey hey is a kind of smile in China. In Chinese, hey hey.
And also, I'm still curious because I think we talked this before, but I still don't know. What do you think about Snow White?
Snow White.
And why
Yeah.
it became so important? Is it a symbol to youth or like some perversity of the mass media? I don't know because maybe something very simple.
Yeah, just very simple. I think it's the first animation I saw when I was a kid.
The first.
Yeah, the first like 1927.
1927.
Yeah,
You saw.
You're a time traveler, so we've established that definitely.
You like the Snow
The
White, or you
stories.
like the relationship between the Snow White and Seven Dwarfs?
No, but this is more like Oedipus sort of thing, no?
yeah, it's kind of a deeper cycle. Like you love someone most, you kill him or kill her or you eat her. Like yeah, like eat is the most supreme love. We love food. We eat food.
But it's very interesting too because the same relationship, the Oedipal thing, I think appears also in your work. This thing, relationship of love and smashing somebody after. Which I don't know if it's something in the air that is inspiring people.
Yeah.
Yeah. She like to slap the lover.
Yeah.
One question I want to know is what is most recently influencing your work, like really strongly? Either something in pop culture or media, something you guys are currently consuming that's kind of showing itself in your work right now, or might show itself later.
I just saw The Hobbit the other day, and Lord of the Rings. I think I want to do some epic journey type thing.
You already have the map component
Yeah,
going on.
compose the map so I don't get lost, and then maybe at the end they all smash each other because they all fall in love with each other. It'll be like a 4-corner, 5-pentagonal love pentagon.
Do you think you might honestly like to do something like that?
Yeah,
like a more
I've been trying. I want to do
like a more epic
Chinese,
comic.
traditional Chinese paintings, like a long scroll where all the perspective is kind of tilted, and then people just walk through space, and they just appear out of nowhere.
Right.
No explanation. I've been trying to do that.
Jinxie, what about you? Anything right now?
Yeah, I want to make large abstract painting because it seems that those things sell well.
If you're Chinese.
Yeah, if I'm
You
Chinese.
have to be Chinese.
As opposed to all the other work.
Yeah.
But the other ones, the ponies sell good too, so you can paint ponies.
Pony is for American. American like pony cells, you know.
Pony paintings or sculpture.
No, they have a documentary like We All Love Ponies, the cartoon series. They're all like white, middle-aged men. We are all like ponies. And there was a website called Zone Archive. They request the website to make pony cells.
So whatever inspires you to make larger oil paintings?
I think it's money. Because large abstract painting looks like worth a lot of money.
But you see, I think that he's not really meaning that. I think he's making a critique on the market by saying that.
Yeah,
So it's about
possibly.
No, I mean that. That's the fundamental drive. Because I want to make a lot of money, so the money will gradually fading away in my life.
But what might motivate you to make these oil paintings? To put the things that you'll ultimately put in the paintings?
Yeah, because besides money, I also love those things. Because I think I persuade myself to love abstract painting right now.
How are you getting into abstract painting?
Yeah, because the machines. Actually, I have a.
Did you bring
I
something?
make a book. I simplify the machine parts and use those machine parts to make abstract paintings. So I use those things to compose
That's amazing.
abstract paintings.
That's great.
So this is an art book of abstract expressionist mechanical paintings. Are there any other questions from the audience?
Are you gonna make other Disney princesses?
Are there ones you would recommend him
Yeah.
making?
Ariel, because I've seen you make one in the video.
Ariel.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
You mean the mermaid?
Yeah, Mulan.
Mulan.
She's not
Mulan?
princess, but
I make one of Mulan before. I paint her as a masculine man because Mulan, I think, in real life she must be first she's strong. She don't have much female look, female features, and she probably is a lesbian because she worked in the army for so long, but she cannot lower herself to reach around for those sweaty men.
So maybe not Mulan.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm done with princess right now.
But if Ariel sells well, you'll make some Ariel.
No, the Ariel one was not. Yeah, people will say you're cartoon, and they will say, oh, I have no feeling of cartoon, they are not fine art. A little bit position myself away from that criticism, because those criticisms are quite strong in China right now.
So you can get around this by
Yeah.
doing drawing,
Do-
abstract drawings and mechanical.
Yeah, yeah.
Basically
also
mechanical
I like,
narratives.
but I can do those things as later in my career.
My last question for you guys is, if you could go back and study something else to maybe alter your artistic practice a little bit, or to learn something new that might influence you in a different medium, what might that be? Like either go back to school and take some time, or just informally study something and spend a lot of time doing it. Maybe totally change your practice, like whether it be some branch of philosophy from some culture, or like engineering or science if it comes to you, chemistry, poetry,
I would probably try to be better at perspective.
perspective. like visual perspective,
like,
literally.
really boring.
Yeah, linear perspective.
Yeah.
You go back to Italy and
Yeah,
Florence.
I'd go back to Italy.
Spend some time.
I would go
Yeah.
back to Italy and try to not cry.
Was that pretty influential actually in
Yeah,
stopping
it
the oil
was. It
painting?
was amazing. Yeah, but it made me realize that I can't. I don't think I would ever be able to do that.
I think every painter has a stage of seeing the
It's
close.
like they made their paints out of like poop and like cow piss, and then I can just go to an art store and buy what I need, and it still looks like shit. So
But do you think every artist goes through that step of some kind
Amazement.
of feeling of like complete amazement at this?
And overwhelming, and feel like you have no power. It's like a setback.
yeah, there's also like you are. Well, I don't know. I was like, okay, I have to be okay with being just okay.
But do you think you ever tried hard enough to know? How do you get to the point where you know enough to know that maybe trying harder won't get you to like Caravaggio?
Yeah, but also